business news now from our top business correspondent, Brian Quinn, who's joining us, and he's starting with a giant leap. This is for space tourism. One of the world's richest men gets set to lift off next month.
We're looking at a giant leap in the price tag of going with him, actually, Stuart. A live auction held Sunday by Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin company saw the price of a seat on next month's launch go from $4.8 million up to $28 million. The anonymous and no doubt rather wealthy winner will sit next to Bezos and his brother on the maiden voyage of the New Shepard rocket, as the Amazon founder races with fellow billionaires Elon Musk and Richard Branson to push the frontiers of private space tourism. Emerald Maxwell has the story.
Sold $28 million.
An astronomical sum for a short hop to the edge of space and back. A mystery bidder has bagged a seat next to Jeff Bezos aboard the first crewed spaceflight of the billionaire's company Blue Origin. Bids had reached $4.8 million last week before skyrocketing when the Amazon founder announced that he and his brother would be on the flight.
I wanted to go on this flight because it's a thing I've wanted to do all my life. It's an adventure. It's a big deal for me. I invited my brother to come on this first flight because we're closest friends.
Serious?
The bidder now has 6 weeks to prepare for the mission scheduled July 20th. The proceeds from their ticket will be donated to Blue Origin's Club for the Future, an educational charity that promotes science and tech. The 11-minute flight will be the first launch of Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket, with people on board.
Up there, over the Kármán line, that's when we're going to let our passengers unbuckle, get to experience about 3 minutes of weightlessness, the freedoms of zero-G, gazing out of those gorgeous windows.
The ride ushers in a new chapter for the space tourism industry that UBS estimates could be a $3 billion annual market by 2030. Blue Origin's fiercest competitors, Elon Musk's SpaceX, is planning orbital flights that send people much further into space, while Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic hopes to begin commercial suborbital flights in early 2022.
I think I would pay not to go to space, actually. I would rather keep my feet on the ground. But anyway, Japan for this next story. Scandal is shaking up a top industrial giant, Brian.
Well, 4 senior executives at iconic Japanese electronics firm Toshiba have been ousted from their positions following a tense board meeting Sunday. The shakeup follows a bombshell report released last week. Commissioned during a stakeholder revolt, the report details a campaign by Toshiba executives and Japan's Ministry of Economy to pressure activist shareholders to stop objecting to management's plans. Among the allegations that Toshiba advisor Hiromichi Mizuno threatened Harvard University's endowment fund with a regulatory investigation by the Japanese government. That's an accusation that Japan's economy minister has denied. Take a listen here.
We have asked Mr. Mizuno to advise from a shareholder's perspective, but we have never asked him to directly contact individual Toshiba shareholders.
Let's check then on the day's trading action. Markets, Brian, how they're shaping up.
Well, Toshiba's shares actually gained in Tokyo Monday. The Nikkei doing all right today. Here in Europe, stocks opening higher as well as investors look ahead to this week's meeting of the U.S. Federal Reserve for any signs that America's central bank is worried about persistent inflation. London, Paris, and Frankfurt all up around 0.5% to start off the day. Bitcoin popping around 7% right now as Elon Musk says Tesla could resume accepting the cryptocurrency as payment when the electricity used to mine new coins can be confirmed as coming from roughly 50% clean energy sources.
And finally from Brian for Business, summer tourism season. It's heating up here in the UK, but across the English Channel, it's a very different story, isn't it?
Indeed, here in Europe with vaccination programs underway and the EU's digital health certificate set to facilitate cross-border travel as of July 1st, signs of life in the industry are returning. Flight data provider Forward Keys says inter-European flights are now back to 50% of their pre-pandemic levels. UK flights, however, are at just 20% of their pre-crisis levels as the government has cut the number of countries it considers safe to visit and encouraged its citizens to stay home this summer. EU-bound flights from the UK were up 74% last month. That until London removed Portugal from its green list, prompting a wave of cancellations and returns. Britain's top airline lobby group is now calling for new government aid as carriers are worried about a second summer lost to the pandemic.
Seems to change by the day, certainly by the week, doesn't it?
Indeed.
Brian Quinn, thanks so much, Brian Quinn.